fantasy, caught in a landslide, no escape from reality.
Hey guys, Underground Geek here. Hey, you know what else I like to talk about on my channel? Comic books, yeah! So today we're going to talk about a comic book that my Navy friend gave me. And I gotta say that it's extremely funny because he gave it to me and he said, dude, you're going to get a kick out of this. And so he brings me this comic book and I was thinking, you know, it's going to be like some kind of comic book, you know, that he had just gotten from another country or something. But no, it's called Coming Home. And it's what to expect, how to deal when you return from combat. Apparently they handed these out pretty frequently. They had different versions of them over the years where they changed stuff. And it's really, really funny because, I mean, it's not funny, but it is because this is what they were handing out to the military personnel when they left to try to convince them to get therapy. And so there's lots of different versions of this one. This one says, thank you, we owe a deep debt of gratitude to service members at Walter Reed Army Medical Center. And they had different ones. And this is from 2008 to 2009. But basically what this is it's telling the story of this veteran and like 2 or 3 other veterans that are in the same friend circle. And what they've all been going through since they came back from the military. And what is so funny about this book is I got so into it. I got so into the story. I was like, what's going to happen to so-and-so? What's going to happen to so-and-so? But what about these two? What are they going to, you know, it was just, it really got you into it by the end of the book. But we start out with this guy right here. His name's Jason Fetterman. And what it does is it basically tells you like everything about who they are, military style. And so right off the bat, I was calling some plot holes in this book. Because, okay, so he's sleeping in the floor, you know, it's just like they do in the movies when they're saying, you know, they can't sleep on a regular bed, they'd sleep on the floor. And then he wakes up and he starts hearing a rumble, and he gets his baseball bat, and he goes to the window, and he's like, And so his wife wakes up and says, Jason, what are you doing? It's just the garbage truck and the baby crying. You're going to wake my parents. Mommy's coming, Jacob. And he says, I got a little mixed up, Nicole, that's all. So here's the deal. First of all, how is him standing at the window going to wake your parents up? Second of all, yeah, maybe he should have got the kid that was crying, but all he was doing was looking out a window. I mean, calm down. So we get this started, and basically he's having problems assimilating into the family. He's not getting along with the kid. He's taking every chance he can to leave and go hang out with his friends. And his friends are much like military group folk. You know, they have a group mentality, a club mentality. They curse a lot. They have a very inward personality to the inward talking of the military. You know, it's kind of like the difference between comic book fans and normies, the way they associate with each other. They think that the outside world doesn't understand, and really they don't. So they cling to their groups from the military. Now, what was really weird about this was this character right here, the Mandy Clark, is overly nice to the Jason character, like very overly nice. And the first thing I was thinking was they're gonna have an affair. Like you know, she's asking about him, telling her to call him, all this kind of stuff. Well, they go to hang out, and this guy right here, the friend, keeps driving crazy. He keeps driving wild and crazy, almost hitting people. Jason's having flashbacks of when tanks blew up. So it just goes through all those problems. And then you hear a little bit of the other guy's problems. You get to see the woman's problems now. Basically what is happening is her parents are having to watch her kid because she can't deal with assimilating because she's been going to the military. So she was out and she comes home and her kid's mad at her. The other fellow's dealing with alcoholism. He's trying to be sober. And then you've got the other friend that has a lot of issues too. But even when they go out on dates, they can't have fun because he's wanting to be on a schedule. He's trying to be here at this time, here at this time. You're in my way, get out of my way, very aggressive. And so they try to have a night out. Things are happening. They crash. The little waiter guy drops the stuff and slips Hollywood style. And he's like, hit the deck. And he's like, man, it's just the waiter, man. He just drops some dishes, man. And so they have that little deal. And then the two wives are talking amongst themselves. And then he's trying to weirdly buy a beer on the way out. The wife stops him. It's like, no bill for you. You go home now. You've been here for an hour. And so then you got the mom starting to hang out with the daughter here, starting to have more attention. And then she's trying to go out on a date, okay? She's trying to go on a date for the first time. And it's hilarious because she goes on a date with like this Joe Schmo beta dude. And I'm like, look at her, look at him. What don't fit? What don't fit? So he's talking about taxes and everything. She's not really feeling it. She says, oh, you could go into a combat zone, buddy. That's how I got my exemption. And that's very much how some military military personnel feel like in the outside world. So he writes her off because they're not getting along very well. She says, I guess I just don't have enough confidence for these kinds of games anymore. You know, they don't understand that everything is very strict, and they're having a hard time assimilating into this. Just like I've said over and over, it's all about assimilation, and they can't. And so then we've got some more problems with the red hat guy. He's been drinking. The wife can't stand it anymore. She's leaving, and he decides to take some pills. She comes home because she feels bad and realizes that he's been down in pills. Takes him to the hospital. All the friends are now made aware. I love their little haircuts too. It's hilarious. So now they've all been made aware of the situation. They all feel bad. But the good thing about this happening is it makes all the rest of them realize that they have problems that they need to deal with. So the first character is able to fix his family problems. The second character is able to fix his alcohol problems. And the girl is able to finally go on a date with that fellow again. And they did it by moving to Camp Lejeune, home of Expeditionary Forces in Readiness, and staying there, and then they could get the therapy that they needed to assimilate. And everything's fine. Look, yay! Everything's great. And obviously time has passed because now the little kid has hair. And so, you know, everything's good. Everybody's happy. Happy ending for everybody. You know, she's went on her date again. I was so thinking she was going to have an affair with Jason. It messed up the plot. Dang it. And then it has this right here where you can kind of learn about vet services, chaplains, military health care services, and all that kind of stuff. And I do think this is a good idea. You know, I don't know if they're necessarily going to read it. They're going to be like, well, what's this crap? You know, but I laughed at it, but then I was kind of like, well, I mean, this is better than writing somebody off, but a normal person's not going to read a comic book. But when he handed me this, I was just laughing. I was like, what is this stuff? Because he was telling me that it was pretty rough. But apparently they've done a lot of these different ones. If you have ever had something like this, let me know in the comment section what you think about it. I do think that it has good things about it, positive things. What this story kind of feels like to me is when they do those Christian movies like Valor and Fireproof and all those movies, this is kind of what it felt like to me. You know, trying to teach you morals and lessons and things of that nature. And as funny as it is, a lot of this stuff is realistic to a lot of my friends that I know that have issues with assimilating with regular people. So I could kind of see how this could be beneficial. But I just wanted to do a quick little video on this. I thought it'd be funny and something different to check out. And you can kind of tell me what you thought about it and if you've ever had one of these before or if you know about this one. But hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. I got some more videos coming out today. I'm going to do a video on Velvet. And so have a great day, guys. I'll talk to you later. Underground Geek out.